The Canon R50 is a replacement for the Canon M50. The M50 has been a flagship, highly sought after seller for Canon for years. I've had the M50 for 5 years now when it was released back in 2018, and it is amazing. It is fantastic, and it is a camera that I just absolutely love. When Canon released the R50, my interest was piqued, and I must say that I'm kind of torn between the M50 and the R50. The R50 has a lot of features that the M50 doesn't have, like 4K video no crop. The R50 takes R-mount lenses, and we know that the M50 has some amazing lenses, particularly Sigma. The 16mm lens was amazing. It is dreamy, it is fantastic, but we don't have that for the Canon R50. But today we're talking about the 5 settings that I would change on my R50 straight away after getting it out of the box to get the most out of this camera. These are everyday functions I think you'll find useful too. Just like the M50, the R50 has great features like the articulating touchscreen, dual pixel reliable autofocus, and fabulous video stabilization. The R50 is a great camera for video and photography for the hybrid shooter and creator. I see the same questions on the forums and Facebook groups for the R50. So let's address some of these settings today in the Canon R50. Setting number 1, your screen isn't broken. Every time you put something up to the electronic viewfinder or the eyepiece and the screen turns off, no, it is not malfunctioning. We can fix this in the settings quite easily. Press the menu button. Select the wrench tab, that's the yellow menu. Go to page 3. Select item 1, screen, viewfinder display. Change this to screen. Press OK. Press the menu button. And now your screen will stay on even when you put your eye up to the electronic viewfinder. And this one's kind of a practical joke that I think camera manufacturers play on consumers. Why would they allow you to release the shutter button when you have no SD card installed? So let's fix that in the settings. You don't want to make the mistake of thinking that you have captured a full day's worth of photos and video only to get home, open up the camera and find that you did not have the SD card installed. So let's fix this. Use the mode dial to select a photo mode so we can see the item we're configuring. Press the menu button. Select the camera tab. That's the red menu. Go to page 6, select item 5, release shutter without SD card and turn that off. Now the shutter will not release if you don't have an SD card installed on your camera. That one is going to be a lifesaver, and I know you'll get caught out by it too at some stage. That was a little bird that flew past. You might have heard of the rule of thirds, where your image is broken up into 9 rectangles, and placing interesting parts of your photo on the lines or intersections will help to create an interesting image. So we can set that up in the settings. Let's have a look. Set the mode dial to one of the photo modes. Go to the camera tab, that's the red menu. Go to page 8. Select item 3, shooting info display. Select item 4, grid display 3x3. Press menu and you are done. And stick around to the end of this video. I do have a bonus setting, but you will not find this in the menus. Are you missing quite a lot of video settings that other YouTubers are talking about? If you're not seeing 10 video modes, you're probably in PAL. PAL mode only displays 6 recording options. On the Canon R50, you can see standard IBP and light IBP. IBP is a compression standard. And light IBP simply records video at a lower bitrate, resulting in smaller files, roughly 50% smaller files, so you can fit more files on your SD card. Shoot in 4K light IBP to fit more files on your SD card, and it's a little bit lighter on the editing too. With the standard frame rates, video files have a 1-hour recording limit and only 15-minute recording limit at higher frame rates like 100 and 120 frames per second. You will need to press the movie button to start recording video again when the recording limit has been reached. So in NTSC we get 24, 30 and 60 frames per second options, and with PAL we get 25 and 50 frames per second options. Standard IBP records up to 120 megabits per second, and light IBP records up to 60 megabits per second, resulting in roughly a 50% file size reduction. Confusing, huh? just shoot in 4K light IBP. It's more compatible with various devices and it's going to save you space. But if you really want to have the 10-bit color depth, shoot in 120 megabits per second in 4K. Now there's probably a logical reason why most cameras have a shutter button and a video button. But did you know that on many cameras you can have the shutter button also record video when you are in video mode? So let's set this up. If your mode dial is on movie recording, why do you need to press the movie record button? Let's just use the main shutter button. It's easy. Set the mode dial for movies. Press the menu button. Go to the camera tab, that's the red menu. Open page 5. Select shutter button function for movies. Change fully press to start stop movie record. Now press the menu button and your shutter button will be used to record movies. Simple. As we're getting along so well, I'll share with you a bonus setting. This one is not in any of the menu settings. It's for setting the diopter at the back of the camera. So with a camera with an electronic viewfinder, we have a little dial under here. Oh, there we go. We have a little dial under here called the diopter. And if you wear glasses like me, this allows you to change the magnification to suit your glasses. And that way, the image inside the EVF, the electronic viewfinder, is nice and sharp. You won't find this in any of the menus, but if you pick up a camera and you have a look through the EVF and that image is blurry in there, have a look for that little dial. It's a little push-pull thing that will change the magnification in the electronic viewfinder. And there are my settings for the Canon R50.